All right, ladies and gentlemen, my boy Jack and we got a new air dryer after God knows how long. What do you think, buddy? We should replace it, huh? That's what I think. Cab shock's about 2 years old, or 2 years old. Yeah, right. My stock ones are about 20 years old. Probably not, but still. So these are the new cab shocks I finally got. Part number for Kenworth, at least for mine, W9. See how it looks. Mine are completely rotted, so it's really hard getting your hands on parts nowadays. So I ordered these about, a month ago, I want to say. Finally came in. Same with the air dryer. Kenworth is about $500, but I bought it here locally. It just had to get shipped out or shipped in, however you want to call it. I think all this was $360 together or something like that. So I think it's the same air dryer that I have. Mine is leaking out on the bottom right here, losing a lot of air, which is an out of service. Because if this fully goes out, you're gonna lose all of your air, and you'll have trouble keeping your secondary up. So, and also got 11 gallons of coolant they're about to put in, and I'll show you guys what we did. So a little bit of, I wouldn't really call it preventive maintenance, but a little bit of maintenance before winter. It is the first day of fall, I think. So we're gonna try to do all this, and I'll show you what else I did. Hence why I bought new coolant. And my coolant in my truck is actually not that old. It's only been maybe 4 months since the rebuild. So, but anyway, figured I'd change the coolant because that's just who I am. And of course, in the next video, you guys already know, I'll keep the suspense up on this. And let's go to the truck. I'll show you guys. I replaced that hose there, and the same at the top. This is not the original part. I put a new radiator on, and this top thing was the same piece. And well, it is the same piece, but it just sat different. So it's weird where it sits, but whatever. I replaced this one down here, as you can tell in the front, and right here from the water pump. So kind of little things. And then this is the air dryer here. Shouldn't be too hard to get to. Got these three, I don't know, they look like 15s or something, maybe 18s. A couple airlines, 2 airlines, and whatever's down there. So shouldn't be too bad. Easy to replace. It is leaking, so it's got to go. Yeah, so what I'm gonna do now is just, I already added 2 gallons of coolant. 1, 2, yeah, so I added 2 gallons of coolant. I'm gonna add 11 more. This is the old coolant I dumped out. So the coolant is not dirty. That's the color of it. It's red, 50-50. But yeah, since it's been sitting here most of the day, it's got like some stuff in it. And this truck doesn't have a coolant filter. So also, this thing is really hard to find. If you find it, you gotta buy it by how big parts they sell it, or how not big parts, but what sections or how big they sell it at. So got interrupted with a call, but yeah, so just throw these, in your spare bunk or whatever. You gotta keep them, and keep it as a spare. You never know when you're gonna blow one. So even these are still good. There's nothing wrong with these. They're just dirty, old, but there's no cracks, tears. It still feels nice. I guess it's not as soft as this one, and also I think it might be different material a little bit versus this one. But either way, I'm keeping all of these because you never know when you're gonna need it, but not just you, somebody on the side of the road, right? So let me show you these shocks. As you can tell, my shocks are shot. Yeah, those babies have been in here for a long freaking time. And actually, you can tell up here, there's a crack. The rebound was so bad. The rebound was so bad when What went bad? Oh, so the torque rod in here, you can't really see it, but there's a torque bar in there. That one wasn't on at all, and then these shocks were bad, so the truck was bouncing like crazy. And I got the issue fixed, but I think it was so bad that like the back of the cab was bouncing so bad on big potholes, it cracked that piece. So I gotta figure maybe put a rivet or weld it, but it's aluminum, so you can't really weld it. Anyway, so let's go add that coolant, and then we will change that air dryer. So before I got sweat in my eyes, I'm laying down, sorry. So before we undo these 3/4, they're not nuts, they're bolts, I guess, because they go all the way through. So as you can hear that, it's leaking. It's got a plug right here. So I should have put on gloves. We're gonna get start. So one plug here, one little airline here, two big ones here. As you can hear, it's leaking, right? So you want to find the right size. Unless the monkey tightened these, they should come off fairly easy. So as you can hear, there's air coming out. So I'm gonna let all the air drain out as I twist it. There's that. Just kind of want to remember your top and bottom, because I think they are the same type of, yeah, they're the same style fitting. So you're not going to know which one came from where. So just kind of remember one's front, one's rear. So silver rear, red front, pretty self-explanatory. And then the little one is right there. And you want to try to memorize how you took them off, because when you take this, whatever you want to call it, air dryer off, it's easier to replace all of these when you're out. So I'm going to take them off and just kind of either take a picture or a memory picture, or put them next to each other and put one in the other. So later when you come back down here, you don't got to mess with this one. You just put these on and it's good to go. So as the air is draining, I'm going to take this little one off, and then we'll pull the whole thing off. Then we'll go and pull these off and put it and match it up with the new one. So when you pull it off, you might when it's zip tied here, and I don't want to break that zip tie, it'll be pretty tight inwards. So you got to, like, when you unscrew it, pry on it. It'll pop out for you. And you also want to make sure you have no kinks, scratches, no leaks from the actual lines themselves. These are steel braided, but you never know, because if it is scratched up, DOT loves having fun with us as soon as they can catch something stupid and petty. So there's that one. This fitting is still good. And of course, if the zip tie breaks in the meantime, or you have another one of these big zip ties, just cut it off. Not a big deal. So let's pull this one off, pull this little one off, and call it a day for underneath the truck. And now I'm gonna take my 3/4 socket. Remember, you can use a drill. These are not long. I don't feel like pulling my drill out. I already have this ready to go. So maybe don't pull them all the way out, because it's gonna drop on you. I guess this part I don't really have to explain or emphasize, but what I do want to emphasize is make sure you remove these bolts after you pull your airlines off, because otherwise then you're gonna have it hanging, and it's just not gonna go your way. So make sure you do these last, and then this just pops out. So I might not be able to hold it with two hands and do this, so I'll probably see you guys on the workbench or on the catwalk. So now that we got the new one, it's put right next to the other one. So you want to make sure everything's right. The only thing is this one has this. I guess it's just updated or something. But so I put some Teflon tape. Where did that show up? Anyway, so yeah, I put some Teflon tape. So now I'm just gonna get it in. Better safe than sorry. As I stated earlier, it's tough when this thing is not mounted. It's tough when this thing is not mounted because There's nothing to hold it for you. Oh my God, it's slippery. I'll get it right. There we go. Yes. Jeez. There we go. So there's that. Pull this fitting off. See, you have the, I guess I do have this. So this, you can rather use this or this. It's the same thing, but this is like a liquid tape. So I'll use this on this one. That's what they used here originally. I picked up a microphone, by the way, for my iPhone or camera, whatever you want to call it. So what you want, big dog?
Could have brought me one of those sandwiches, the sausage McMuffins with egg.
I don't know, well, you guys can see. So I have the old hardware here. You can probably even see it in the picture. But I'm just gonna put the new stuff. Yeah, the bolts are gonna be black, but screw it. So put at least 2 in just to kind of hold it up. I think they're the same size as well. I think everything should go smoothly for most part. So before you mess around with the dingleberries, right here, let's get it all the way tight. Well, not all the way tight, but snug. Top one. This thing's been leaking for a while for me, so I think it's time. Oh, come on. I can't see. Okay, there's that one. And the third one. Now, before I get it all snug tight, what I'm gonna do is, I'm not gonna torque them down just yet. Well, not torque them, but you know, tighten them really hard. So, come on, there we go. At some point I broke my ratchet. Just get it like that. So when we go underneath, I can get all the lines in. Grab this. So these, they don't really need any like thread locker because they are pointed at the bottom and they go in, but I'm still gonna put them on just as a peace of mind, I guess you could say. So I'll show you. You don't really have to cake it on. You just kind of put a little bit here and there and just run your lines pretty much in. So there's that. My other one, I don't think had this plug, but I had to remove it to do this. Then there's this cap for this plug right here. So all we do is like that, bang. That's just done. So now I'll start the truck up and see if it does what it's supposed to. Then we'll go underneath. You see, got that little T-split right there. I got some wires for my air ride. I got a zip tie before it hits the drive line. It's not close to hitting it, but it's close enough. So yeah, the air dryer's done. That's the biggest thing I had a concern about. So I didn't have time to do the shocks today. I'm probably just gonna have the mechanics do it next week, along with the steers Still trying to get some steers for this thing. Nobody really has them in stock, so that's the thing. But yeah, so air dryer works. Air dryer is good now. I drove the truck. It held air pressure for actually a while. So yeah, with that being said, as always, guys, thank you for watching. I appreciate y'all, and I'll see you on the next one.